welcome back to the Rowan's podcast. I am the Rowan. We will call this episode number 19 since I have officially lost track. So, grab yourself a cup of coffee, a nice comfy seat, and let's chat. Now, if I seem a little bit off right now, I am not having a good ADHD day, and I get dizzy spells with migraines, and I have a migraine as well, so I'm pretty dizzy today. So I am trying to plug along and do this episode because this actually gave me a subject for this episode. And if I struggle, I may struggle with some of my words and things like that, so bear with me. I had to look this up because I have noticed that sometimes when I am struggling during the day with my ADHD traits, when I am struggling with my traits, they seem to be worse. I have other things that tend to get a whole lot worse at the same time. And I looked it up, did some research, and yes, your ADHD traits can in fact make these other things worse. And I will read to you what some of the things that I found. And as I said before, I don't like to call the things ADHD symptoms. I'd prefer to call them traits, but I am reading the AI lowdown of it here, what was on my phone, and it does say symptoms, so I am going to read it. And I wanted to know what research is. I wanted to know if when your ADHD traits are worse, will it cause other issues? And it does. So here's one AI overview. It says, yes, when ADHD symptoms are worse, it can significantly affect motor skills, causing increased clumsiness, poor coordination, and difficulties with fine motor tasks and handwriting. ADHD affects executive function pathways in the brain that are also responsible for motor control, leading to challenges with balance, timing, and smooth, precise movement. This explains, I don't know if anyone else has ever had this happen to them, but this also explains to me why sometimes when my symptoms are worse, my hands feel like no matter what I'm doing, they're running through very thick mud. Like they seem very slow, very clumsy, hard to move. Like it's like there's a delay between what my brain is telling my fingers to do and my hands to do to what they actually do. And I have said before, like I had a day where I was just dropping things all day long. No matter what I did, I was dropping things. And it's just things like that. It's like I just can't seem to do much at all with my hands. Coordination and clumsiness. Now that is already a thing with ADHDers. We have our spatial man, I can't think of the word, and I'm so sorry because my brain is just not functioning well right now. Because I'm having a very hard day with this. Spatial recognition, knowing where we are in space. And I don't mean that outer space. I mean where we are, like in relation to other things in space. Like the space around us. Well, anyways, because we have poor spatial recognition, we are clumsy to begin with. But when our traits are worse, that clumsiness gets a whole lot worse. poor coordination, motor skills, everything, all that stuff gets affected. But I also asked it because I wanted to know, because it seems like on those days, my cognitive abilities like go way downhill. And it does say that yes, when ADHD symptoms are worse, often called brain fog or high stress periods, it significantly impacts memory, particularly working memory. Worsened symptoms such as increased inattention and distractibility make it harder to encode new information, leading to forgotten tasks, lost items, and difficulty recalling. And I already have like a big problem with working memory. My working memory is crap to begin with. But when I have my really bad days, it's just brain fog doesn't even begin to describe it. Like at least fog, you can see the fog, and with me, when it's my memory is really bad and the brain fog thing is going, it's like there is, you can't even see the fog. It's everything is just so cut off from working properly. It's just I just have days where I just really, it's so hard for me to function. And the working memory, let me explain to you what working memory is. It's basically the ability to store information temporarily, like and I'm reading this too from the thing, like a phone number or instructions. High stress or high symptom state cause the sticky note in your brain to fail, and basically that is what it is, and it is a good description of it. Is the working memory is like, you're putting a little sticky note in your brain to help you remember something until you can get it encoded into your long-term memory. Like for me, if I'm in a conversation with somebody and someone else comes up and they're like, "Oh, hey, this is Bob. He's my friend," and blah 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 blah. Well, by the time they say this is Bob and they get done with the Bob, I've forgotten the guy's name. Like I could continue to have a conversation with this person, but I will have forgotten his name. And where most people, it doesn't stick in my working memory. And most people, their working memory, like they say this is Bob, it'll go in their working memory like a little sticky note, ding, up there in your brain. There you go, there's Bob. And then you'll remember that throughout the conversation, what his name is. And then maybe next day or so you might run into Bob again, and that sticky note will stuck long enough in your brain to where it can transfer over into your short-term and long-term memory, so that when you see this person, a day later, you remember Bob, and then maybe 6 months from then you might run into Bob again, and there it is in your long-term memory, and be like, "Hey, this is Bob." Me, after they say his name, I'll forget. I might meet that person the next day and, "Oh, this person looks familiar. I've seen him from somewhere. I just not exactly sure where, but okay." And I might talk to the person as I know them, but I won't remember their names. And then maybe 6 months later, I might run into the person and they'll completely talk to me like they really know me and everything. And I will go right along with the conversation. If you ever run into me and you're talking to me and I should know you, and I give you like a strange kind of like clueless look, but yet I'm enthusiastically talking to you, yeah, just know I just don't remember your name. I remember that I know you. I might have met you, and I just can't place you. And it's really hard. And I know that's why we have such a hard problem with losing things, because that sticky note, that you put in, like, hey, I had my keys in my hand, and the sticky note goes up into your brain that, oh, hey, I stuck them on the hook over there. Our sticky notes, I swear our sticky notes aren't sticky enough because they just don't stick. Have you ever had that where you buy like the really cheap sticky notes and you put it up on the wall or something like that, and you come back an hour later and they're all over the floor? We must get the cheap sticky notes where everyone else gets the name brand special extra sticky kind. Because it's just kind of what it seems like. But I like that way that they described it that way. And then it says failed encoding. That when distracted, your brain doesn't properly record information, meaning it never enters long-term memory to later be recalled. And then brain fog, increased overwhelming inattention, often called brain fog, reduces mental clarity and causes slower thinking. And then it also, the executive dysfunction, where symptoms surge, planning and prioritizing falter, causing you to forget appointments, deadlines, and daily tasks. And excuse me, it's not that I can't read; it's just the words are not coming out of my mouth properly. That is also what happens to me when I'm having a really bad day. And this is not just my ADHD. This is also the migraine I've got going on. My migraines, when I get those, they do impact my cognitive abilities as well. And yeah, I have like two things going on there with the ADHD traits worsening and my migraines. And to be honest, I am kind of struggling through this podcast. I get really dizzy sometimes with my migraines, and I am sitting here and every now and then I start spinning. But I am stubborn, to say the least, so I'm trying to plug on through with this. So it is a thing that when our ADHD traits intensify, we do have a lot of things that get worse, and also, like, it can look like skill regression. To not be able to do the things that we, as well as the things that we used to be able to do, because that ADHD is making, our executive dysfunction, worsening, our memories being worse, our cognitive skills, our motor skills, our memory, things like that. It all starts to tank when our symptoms get worse. I mean, we already have it already, but it's just immensely worse. So I am just wondering if any of you have ever experienced that on certain days, and how you dealt with it. Any stories you might want to tell me, or about, how you managed to get through it. There are different. AI has given me different things to, like what you can do to kind of help, like calendars, notebooks. We all know how well those work for us. Not the greatest, although I have learned how to hack the calendar. I have a spiral bound calendar that I can open it up to, like, to a page. It'll show, like, we'll have 2 days, one page one day, one page the other day. But if I leave it open, as long as it's left open in a spot where I will go to every morning, like to go get my clothes, it's right there on my dresser. As long as it's filled out and it's open, then I can just see it. All I have to do is just look at it. Because for me, the biggest deal with the calendar was that I either had to go to my desk to look at it, or into the kitchen, which there's a task. I have to go and, do that. Or I have to go and, get it off my desk and open it up and look for the page, if it's one of the spiral bound ones or something like that, or just a book one, like a book planner. Planner, that's what I'm talking about, not calendar, planner. And if I had to go open it up and look for the page, it's not that I'm being lazy. It's just that's just another task, another thing for my executive function to go, no, no, you're not doing that today. So if it's already opened up and it's sitting there, then I'm good, as long as I've remembered to fill it out. And if I don't fill it out weeks in advance to have it ready for me, you might as well forget it. So everything has to be just right for that to work. And so it's a good idea if you can implement it, if you can stay with that. And it also says like daily routines, keeping those. I do have a daily routine, and if I deviate from it, it messes my entire day up. But it doesn't necessarily make my day better by having that daily routine, like just the morning routine. It has to be a certain way. There's certain things, certain key components to my morning I have to do in order for my day to be right. If I skip one of those key components, my day is screwed up. And then it seems like that's when my ADHD symptoms get worse, because that I have to have certain things the same, statism in me, I guess. And if it's not, and one of the things, the ADHD kicks in. I don't know. It's like, hey, let's party or something. I don't know. Throw the brain in array because this is wrong. So I wonder if anybody else has that too. Like if your routine gets off, does your ADHD symptoms get worse? Like to me, it's like the whole day is shot. Everything's done. Everything's bad. What was one of the other things that it said that you could do? Oh, medications, or therapy, which I did have an ADHD therapist. She was amazing. But due to some insurance situations, I do not have her anymore. And then I do have a regular therapist, of course. You all know that. And but then it says medications. I don't want to take anything unless I absolutely have to. I'm not against anyone else taking it. I would not generally be opposed to my children taking it if they really needed it. But we didn't medicate them. We didn't, at first we were against it. But then as they got older and it started becoming detrimental to their schooling, then we did go to see about getting some. But then at that point, the boys were like, no, we're not taking those. And they were, pretty much old enough to where they could make that decision for themselves. And they didn't want to take them either. So, but I do know that they do help some people. I'm not against it. I just myself, unless I absolutely have to take a medication, I will not take it. To the point of like when I fell and bruised my tailbone, and I thought I had fractured it. Thank God in heaven that I did not, because I would still be in pain. I am a little bit of pain still, but I would be in way worse pain. I would not take any pain medication that night, and I was in severe pain that night. But I didn't want to take any pain medication because, well, first off, I wanted to know if it was fractured or not, and I figured if I took pain medication, I would know, because then I wouldn't feel, pain. I wanted to feel where all the pain was so that I would understand how badly I was, whether I needed to go to the hospital or not. Again, because of insurance considerations, I did not want that bill. And so I wouldn't even take it for that. And it was like a day or two later before I started taking pain medication, and it hurt. It hurt. Um, and I will only take it if I absolutely necessarily, have to, and only for a specific amount of period of time. Um, Not that I'm against medications. I just believe for myself, only if I absolutely need it. Anyone else, I don't, I'm not going to tell someone they can't, you know. Um, but so there's that. The AI recommends medication for it. Now, I am considering on medication for my ADHD. I hear that once you hit menopause, that it can your ADHD symptoms can get way worse. And seeing as how I'm getting close to senior age, I'm thinking about it. Because I do want to ask, does anybody ever, on those really bad days, feel grief or feel depressed because of them, or feel shame because of them? Because I know sometimes on some of the days where it's really affected me and I'm really having a hard time, it is really noticeable to other people, and it's causing issues within like my relationship. Then I do uh, kind of get those negative type feelings. Mostly when I get, though, outside of that, when I just normally get the really bad days, I just feel frustrated with myself because I can't get this done or I can't get that done. It's mostly frustration. So does anybody, what do you feel when you have your bad days? Do you feel frustration? Do you feel anger? Do you feel grief? Do you feel shame? Do you feel guilt? I mean, what do you feel? And how do you get through it? For me, I just to quote my friend there, I feel the feels. Although I don't set a time limit for it, I just feel the feels till I don't feel it anymore. Till it's all felt and done. Um, so, but honestly, overall, everything, even though I do get days like this where I'm struggling, like right now, I'm even struggling with my words. It may not seem like it, but in my head, I am. I'm really struggling. Um, Even on those days, I am glad I am who I am. I'm glad I am how I am. I was made this way, and I believe there's got to be a reason for it. Whatever that reason is, I don't know. But um, I'm glad for it, even though there are hard times. Because if I wasn't me, I don't know who I would be, and I like me. Um, and I hope you all have the same feeling too, because I like you all too. um, but I'm gonna cut this. Well, I'm not gonna say short because this is one of my longer ones, but I am going to shut this down because going back and forth from spinning to not spinning and stuff, and I'm not forming things well in my head. I think I need to shut it down for right now. See if I can upload this, and I hope this made sense. And if it didn't make any sense, then this is a good example as to what happens when your ADHD traits go awry and you have a migraine and you're dizzy. But I really thank each and every one of you for joining me. And have a blessed day. And I do appreciate you all, and you all do matter, and you all are loved. More later. Bye.